Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I have an exciting video. We're going to be doing a collaboration with Rudi I. If you don't know Rudi, she's a content creator here on YouTube, but she also has a TikTok and an Instagram. I'll leave all of that linked down below. She's a fantastic source to get a bunch of skincare tips, makeup tips. She's the tretinoin queen. So if you're testing out with any retinols or tretinoin specifically, you can go to her for certain product recommendations and things to combat that sensitivity and that irritation that you often get with certain retinoids. For this collaboration video, we're going to be showing some of our favorite no makeup looks or just minimal makeup looks. I never wear foundation. I always just look for a tinted sunscreen, if that. So this is my normal go-to look. But we came up with this video idea because I often go to her asking her for certain product recommendations, whether it's blush or highlight, just things to liven myself up a little bit. Make sure to go check out her own video. She's going to be posting it on her channel at the same time. So go check that out. I'll have everything linked down below. And with that being said, let's get into this video. Just a little bit about Rudi. She's into skincare, she's into makeup, she's got some good silky hair. She recently got married and she's from Nashville. And I can confirm she does not listen to Florida Georgia Line. I know what you're thinking, how can people from Nashville not listen to Florida Georgia Line? And that's exactly my thoughts as well. If you're from Nashville, well, what do you call it if you're from Nashville? Nashvillians? It's hard for me to imagine Nashvillians not listening to Florida Georgia Line. I have no idea what you listen to if you don't listen to Florida Georgia Line. It's meant to be, it'll be, baby, just let it be. As you know, this is a skincare channel, so I often stress the importance of skin prep, especially with makeup. If you prep your skin correctly, it's gonna make your makeup look better. It's just facts. First thing I'm going to use is the Hyaluronic C Serum from Osea. I did receive this in PR, so thank you Osea for sending this to me. Hyaluronic acid serum is really going to plump your skin and just make it look better. Make it look a little more awake and lively, if you will. This one in particular is really great. If you've tried hyaluronic acid serums in the past, then you know that sometimes they're a bit sticky or often tacky after reapplication. This one is not that. This one soaks in effortlessly. It is thick and goopy at first, but it soaks in so well. But before applying this, actually, I'm going to spray my face with a little thermal water. Hyaluronic acid works best when you apply to damp skin because it's going to hold on to that water. That's what's really going to plump your skin. So you want to make sure you're applying it to damp skin. I like to use this spray, but you can just use regular water out of the faucet or a toner or an essence, whatever your choice is. Just a little bit. Now I am totally extra. Oh my god. I was just gonna say I'm extra and I always apply it directly to the face and it never makes a mess, but look at me. So yes, we're applying a hyaluronic acid serum to damp skin. You don't really need a lot of it. You're just gonna apply a little bit, and this is gonna plump the skin, make it a little more hydrated, and attract any water from the environment into your skin. You also wanna make sure you're locking that in pretty quickly so the water doesn't evaporate off your skin. I'm gonna go in with the Otsa Simple Water Cream from Crave Beauty. This is a good, just simple moisturizer. It's really good for all skin types, really. If you have dry skin, I would only use this during the day, paired alongside a moisturizing sunscreen, but I've been really liking it, and I tend to have more dry skin. Again, you just want to make sure your skin is prepped really nicely before applying any products, so then your makeup is going to sit better. This is really a no-frills kind of moisturizer. It really doesn't incorporate any fancy ingredients into it. It's just oats, it's squalane oil, which is my favorite oil. Your skin naturally has squalane oil, so it's just kind of replenishing your skin. It's a water cream, so it absorbs really quickly, so it feels good on the skin. And I know I talk about Crave a lot, but if you haven't tried Crave, I highly recommend it. It has to be my favorite brand at this point. All right, skin feels really good. Next thing I like to do is kind of waken myself up a little bit. I like to depuff the face because in the morning I'm often really puffy, especially in the under eye areas and the cheeks. I feel like I'm just So I'm gonna go in with an oil. I'm just gonna use a couple drops. This is from Coco Kind. They also sent me this in PR, so thank you, Coco Kind. This is their Chia Facial Oil, and I'm only gonna use 2 or 3 drops. Just warm it up in your hands and then just pat it into the skin. Oils are really good just to moisturize your skin a little bit extra, and some of them have different properties to them. This one in particular is high in omega fatty acids, so it's gonna help restore your skin's natural barrier, which will ultimately help your skin keep moisture overall. And I love a good oil. It makes you feel so good. Next, I'm gonna go in with my gua sha tool. This was also received in PR, but I did buy this beforehand and I absolutely love this. This is my favorite tool ever. This is by Sachi Beauty. It's their stainless steel gua sha tool. I really like this one in particular because it's antibacterial, it's self-cooling, it feels great on the skin, and it's really heavy in luxe too. So why I love using this every single day is because it depuffs the face so well. If ever you wake up puffy, you can go in with a face massage tool and just kind of depuff the face. A little bit of redness is also fine. It's totally gonna die down in just a moment. But yeah, this just like wakes your skin up. I feel like this is necessary in both my morning and night routine. I always look forward to using my gua sha. I feel like it makes the world of difference. After all your skin prep, it's never finished unless you go in with a sunscreen. This is from Supergoop. This is their Unseen sunscreen. No matter any makeup look, you have to be applying your sunscreen. Even if you have SPF protection in your makeup, I highly recommend you go in with the sunscreen first. This sunscreen is totally unseen. It's totally clear. I feel very comfortable recommending it to anybody with any type of skin tone. It's gonna work with everybody and it really sits nicely on the skin. For the most part, I feel like everyone I've recommended this to really loves it. It feels very light on the skin. It doesn't feel like your traditional sunscreen. Now that our skin's properly prepped, we can finally go into like the makeup part. First thing I always like to do is an eye cream. I have two options for you. This one is Bright Eyed by Supergoop. It's a 100% mineral sunscreen, so it's gonna sit on top of the skin, but it's a little tinted, so it does give you some coverage under there. Think of it like concealer, but more skincare benefits to it. And also my favorite, which I think I'm gonna go in with today. This is the First Aid Beauty Eye Brightening Niacinamide Eye Cream. This one is beautiful. It comes in a very beautiful tint, but it shears out really nicely, but it brightens your skin like instantly with the pigment that it has. But also the niacinamide's gonna brighten over time, which is great. And I might just use both actually, just to show you. So I'm just gonna like dab a little bit on each eye area, and really you don't need a lot. This is just gonna brighten that area just a tad. And one of the reasons I like skincare products over makeup is just because I like to see my skin. I like to see texture. I like to see, you know, my imperfections. I hope you can see this on camera. It just kind of like brightens up the eye just a little bit, and it feels good because it is skincare, so it's super light. You don't have to set it. It feels amazing. Always be gentle around the eye area. So again, that First Aid Beauty one does kind of sheer out a little bit, but I am gonna go in with this one just to show you what it looks like. This one is definitely heavier. Oftentimes mineral sunscreens just feel heavy in general, so this one definitely feels like that mineral sunscreen. This one's gonna offer you a tad bit more coverage than the First Aid Beauty one, so keep that in mind if you're really trying to combat like dark circles and any pigmentation down there as well. Also, this gives you some protection around the eyes, which it's important to get that SPF everywhere. So if regular sunscreen stings your eyes, this one is definitely a good choice to go with. All right, eyes feel good. Normally I would be doing this before that oil and before moisturizer even, but because I'm treating this like my makeup, I'm doing it after, and I'm doing it before like my foundation step. So next step is actually more sunscreen. I really love my sunscreen. I also have two options. I have both the Color Science one and the Supergoop. My favorite is the Color Science one. This is a mineral, where this one by Supergoop is a chemical sunscreen. And that just means it's gonna protect you in different ways. This one's gonna sit on top of the skin while this one kind of absorbs into the skin. Both give you a really glowy look, but I'm personally gonna go in with the Color Science one. I feel like it sits nicer on the skin sometimes. It makes you less greasy throughout the day. So this is where I cover like any spots. I do have a spot down here, so I'm gonna make sure I focus this on there. Sometimes when I'm not dealing with any skin issues, I kind of just focus this right in my T-zone where I'm a little more porous, if you will. And again, you don't need to apply this straight to the face. I'm just a little extra read all about it. Again, I have a little spot, so I'm just gonna go right on there. If you need a little more coverage, this is where I would go in with concealer prior to this step, but I have yet to find the concealer that I like, so I don't really want to do that. Sometimes I feel like you can see concealer too, like when people wear concealer under their eyes but like no foundation, sometimes I feel like you can see it. All right, so see, this does have some coverage to it, but it does sheer out once you work it into the skin. And it's glowy and beautiful. Why won't you want to glow? Every time I see the word matte, like I believe these people do have a matte version, and I know Supergoop for a fact does have matte, but like, ugh. Every time I hear the word matte, I'm like, ooh, matte. What? Glowy till the day I die. And I promise we're about to get more into the makeup in a second. This is just still like what I like to do because I'm not a makeup wearer, so this, I'm treating it as my foundation. Keep in mind, if you have texture on your skin, I tend to have texture on my cheeks. This is going to exacerbate that texture just because when you have glowiness on your skin, it's gonna attract that light and it's gonna bounce off and you're gonna see a texture a little bit more. But I'm personally trying to embrace my texture. Texture is normal. Texture means healthy skin. If you didn't have texture on your skin, you'd be like an alien.
Extraterrestrial being from Mars. From Mars.
And as you see, I'm doing this with my fingers. I feel like fingers just work the best because the warmth of your fingers really like warms it up to the skin. And if you've got a beard, I always suggest kind of going in the beard and like wiping away just so you kind of get the sunscreen that's coated off of that hair. All right, now we're actually gonna get into makeup. I like to sculpt the face a little bit with the Fenty bronzer. This is the cream bronzer. This is in the shade Butter biscuit.
Well, butter my buns and call me a biscuit.
So what I really like about these is the fact that they're cream. Cream or liquid products to me are just a bit superior because they sit better on the skin. This is what this one looks like. I feel like it goes pretty well with my skin tone. I'm just trying to warm it up and kind of like contour it a bit. Keep in mind this one does move throughout the day a bit, which is not something I love. I'm actually trying to look for more of a liquid bronzer because I feel like that's not going to move. And I know that because of the next product that I'm going to use, because that one, I'd like a bronzer that kind of like works like that. Makeup to me is just like on another level. See, I don't even think this is like picking up. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So what I like to do is find your cheekbone and just go like right under, not fully like in the crease, but like a little bit up. So this is what I heard. This is contour, this is bronzer, this is blush, and then this is highlight. So I like to go like right in there because I am about to go in with a blush too. So that's gonna sit more up here. Is there stuff? This is why we're doing a collab, so you can watch Rudi for the makeup and maybe me for the hyaluronic acid serum, which maybe she's going to talk about as well. I heard you're supposed to blend up, but really, to be honest, I never noticed a difference. So same thing on the other side. Sometimes I just feel like this carves out my face just a little bit. We want to look skinny. Can do it up on the hairline when our big forehead's going to come into fashion because I'm ready. All right, so the next step, I'm done with that. This is from Rare Beauty. It's their liquid blush, and this one's in the shade Joy. Rudi does have these, but she was a little taken off about how pigmented they are. So Rudi posted a video talking about the melting cream blushes, the one that comes in the compact, and she was talking about how those are very, very sheer, which is why I like the idea of this one, but this one's like so pigmented, where that one's like not really pigmented. Definitely go check out her videos about these blushes. They're very interesting, and then you'll see how they're actually properly used, where I sometimes get carried away with this one. I think she said she likes this one, it's just not really user-friendly, which I have to say, I agree. So I just go right onto the face because I don't really have a brush to use. So I dab with the back of it just because I don't really want so much pigment. But there's people online that like dab it like really like big dots on their face, and then they have like extreme blush when I'm just looking for like a flush of color. I think this color particularly works nice with my skin tone, and I just go straight in with my fingers. Again, I like to bring this up to my temples. I feel like it gives me more of like a lifted look, and I don't really want to bring it too far down. I like to bring it just here and blend that into like the bronzer that I did. See, I feel like that looks very pretty. I actually did a good amount this time. I feel like this looks pretty good, but if ever I do too much, because I don't have a makeup sponge or a brush, I just use some toilet paper and I just kind of like dab it away. But again, I feel like using your fingers for this part, it really melts it into the skin nicely. And the reason I like these blushes is because they don't move throughout the day. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing makeup when I use these, but I get some kind of pigmentation onto my face. I like to take just some excess and put it right on the bridge of my nose for like a little sun-kissed look. How do we feel about it? I feel like it looks pretty good. I think it blends into the bronzer nicely. It sits on the skin. Again, it doesn't move throughout the day, and I feel like the color, it does get a bit more sheer when you really blend it out, but again, it's hard to work with because of how pigmented it is. But I have to say, I'm always happy with the finished look, and even if you use too much blush, I feel like it's still really pretty. It's a pretty color. This one is in a dewy shade. They do have matte versions, but again, matte. I don't know why anybody would want matte. But I do know that Rudi says that once these are blended out and once the matte versions are blended out, there's really no difference to them because of how pigmented they are. So the next thing I like to do is my brows. I feel like for the most part my brows are fine, but I do like to go in with a brow gel just to kind of fluffen them up a little bit. This one is by Maybelline. It's their Brow Fast Sculpt. This one's just a clear brow gel. Sometimes I feel like with actual like pigmented brow gel, it just becomes too much for me. Next thing I know, my brows are like black. One thing about this one though, it doesn't really stick them up throughout the day. I feel like there is some hold to them, but not as strong hold. Rudi was posting about this one brow gel that I'll insert here. It has really strong hold. I want to try that out, but I'm a little afraid of like how it's gonna feel. When I wear things where I like feel the makeup, that's when I don't like it. You know, I don't want my brows to feel like they're like stuck. And even sometimes when I wear mascara, just when I'm doing some creative looks, I feel like I don't like the way that it feels. I do like to let this brow gel sit for just a second, and then I go into my next step, which is brow pencils. These ones are by NYX. It's the Professional Makeup Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. I have two shades. I have espresso and I have brunette, but I tend to like the espresso one. It's a little more darker. I feel like the brunette one, the brown just doesn't match up to my hair very well, so I stick to the espresso. I shake it up. This one's like a felt tip. I really like this one because you can get some sharp lines, and I just like to kind of create little hairs. And if it gets too dark, I just kind of comb it out. I personally just follow my brow shape. I don't try and do anything fancy and like reshape things. But I just want them to be a little darkened up, just a tad. And if ever I have any spaces that are a little bit more sparse, I just try and fill them in. If you can see the difference, it's just like a tad bit darker, which is what I want. But they look natural, which is what I like. I keep thinking about Nashvillians. Honestly, they don't listen to Florida Georgia Line. What do they listen to? Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down. Do you just listen to like Carrie Underwood and Dolly Parton? Doesn't Dolly Parton have like an amusement park there? If ever I go to Nashville, I'm going to Dolly World. I imagine it being like a giant Dolly Parton head and you like walk into the mouth, like on her tongue, and then like every roller coaster is just like Dolly Parton's face. Alright, so I feel like brows are done. For the most part, we are finished. I'm just gonna do one more step. I'm gonna add a little lip balm. This one's from Fresh. This is their Sugar Blood Orange Hydrating Lip Balm. These ones are amazing, and this one in particular has a little bit of tint to it, but I don't think all of them do. This one just gives your lips like a little flush. Liven them up just a little bit. These remind me of a more sheer version of like the Balm.com from Glossier, especially that cherry one. I have the cherry one upstairs, but I barely use it just because of how pigmented it is. If you use too much, your lips are like red. Putting on lip balm is so attractive. So I know you can barely see the top one, but if you look really closely, I feel like it's very pretty. It's very just like flushed of color. One day the top lip will be more seen, I promise. If ever I make it in this industry, we're getting lip fillers. Or like a lip flip, for sure. I'm doing it. Oh, and I almost forgot, one thing I like to do is I do like to take my brow pen and I like to fill in the beard. I have this little spot that I don't love on my beard and I just kind of fill it in. Sometimes I get a little crazy and I'm just like, let me give myself like a new beard. But honestly, like guys keep talking about how like girls are catfishing if they wear too much makeup, and I'm like, you just don't know the potential. Like my beard can get so thick with this, and meanwhile you have like a scraggly beard. This just makes me feel a little bit more confident. I'm kind of over the whole like makeup is just for women. Like honestly, no. Anybody can wear makeup. It just makes you feel more confident, and that's really all that matters. Like you just want to feel, ooh, that went dark. All we're trying to do here is make people feel confident in their own skin, and that's really what I'm trying to do with this look today. I'm not really trying to do anything crazy. I'm just trying to feel more confident, especially on the days where you don't feel the best. Just touch yourself up a little bit. Make yourself remember that you are beautiful. How are we looking? I feel like I look good. I feel like this makes me just feel that much better about myself. This is how I present myself just like every day. And oftentimes I don't really do like the contour. Sometimes I'll put the blush on, but sometimes you really just don't need that much. Like if you just need a tinted sunscreen that day or a tinted moisturizer, then do it. If you want to do your brows, go ahead and do it. If you want to do a full face, sure, go ahead and do it. This is just what I like to do, just to like make myself feel that much better and just make myself like ready for the day. Again, I want to stress you go over to Rudi's channel and you check out her video. Hers is going to be totally different, I feel. I'm interested to see what she chooses. I'm interested to see if some products kind of overlap. Again, all of her information is going to be linked down below. All of her socials, the video that she posts, I will be linking that down below as well. All of these products that I used here today will also be linked down below. Again, thank you to Osea and CocoKine for sending me those products. Make sure before you leave to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that bell notification so you get updated every single time I post a brand new video, which I promise is coming more often than not. I'm just trying to get some things situated with like the audio and the lighting situation, so more videos are coming, I promise. But in the meantime, you can also go ahead and check out my TikTok and my Instagram, which I will also link down below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Rudi for doing this with me. I hope this is fun, and I hope one day we can do an actual collab in person in Nashville, jam into Florida Georgia Line. If I'm not doing that, and if I'm not going to Dolly Parton World, then I'm not coming to Nashville, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. If it's meant to be, maybe next time I think people heat you. Baby, just let it be.